All right, everybody, we are live with the very first episode of the Packie Run. This is brought to you by thepackie.com, www.thepackie.com. I am the Packie. Oh, sorry about that. We had a technical difficulty here. This is the pilot episode of the Packie, essentially. We will be doing this semi-daily on a regular basis and whatnot. We are live here at the Packie headquarters here in Washington, D.C. And of course, we're a Boston-based sports blog, comedy blog. We do a little bit of everything, but this is a pilot. We're just trying to get this started right now. We have a nice studio that we're building here at the Hangout, at the headquarters here. Microphones are coming in. We got the mixer board all set up. Some updates on the computer. Everything's going to be swimmingly. Right now, we're doing it off the laptop for our mobile remotes, which we'll be doing occasionally throughout the Packie lifetime. But for the most part, this is it, and I hope you will enjoy what we will bring to you. Many have known me as the Arty to the Arty and Eric radio show, which is still available for past episodes on thepackie.com. Feel free to check those out. This video podcast, I guess you say a vodcast to the laborers, will also be available on the same subscription to your podcast for the Arty and Eric radio show, which is now the Packie Network. It's a lot of stuff going on here. We're innovating. We're doing some crazy stuff here. But anyways, we like to bring every daily Packie run with the shirt of the day. This is the Cape Cod League T-shirt. Let's show you the back here. If you get a nice view of it and whatnot. With all the Cape Cod leaves to initiate the summer. I have just unpacked all my T-shirts and realized I have over 500 of them. And I will be wearing a new T-shirt every day, I promise you. And you'll be able to see the T-shirt on the Twitter, which is, I believe, just the Packie on Twitter. Let's, you think I know these things by now. But I think it is the Packie. It's the PackieUSA@gmail.com if you'd like to send any information to us. And it is just the Packie on Twitter. And you guys can find us on Facebook. We're everywhere. We're like a Verizon connection. You can get us in the dead of the winter, and you can get us in the eve of the summer, if you know what I mean. And you can also follow me personally on DJ Arty84, Arty with a Y, on Twitter, Facebook, and anything like that and whatnot. So we will start this first episode after we get the T-shirt thing done. We will also do a beverage of the show. And this beverage of the show happens to be a Yingling Lager. The great thing about Yingling is it's found very much down here. It's based in PA, and I basically love this beer, but we couldn't get it north of New York City for years now at this point. So they had brought it up there a couple years ago, and then I didn't like it that much. And then I stopped drinking it, and now I'm down here, and I can drink it all I want. So that is that. First story of the day. I think we're going to go right to... Oh, it's not going to work now? Here it is. We're going to do Dwayne Wade to the Bulls. Did anyone see this one coming? I thought I was a little suspicious with Rose going to New York and the Bulls clearing some space out. All right, that doesn't make any sense. I just thought they were just trying to dump salary because they don't want to pay for Rose, who's been very overrated, in my opinion, over the years. He was one of those players that came out of college and he thought it was going to be terrific, but the guy can't stay healthy. And the Bulls can't make it past the second round of the playoffs. So getting rid of him was probably a good idea. I did not see Wade going to Chicago. As a matter of fact, I thought for sure, with all this talk in this meeting with Milwaukee, which I thought was kind of bizarre, but he was actually going to go to Cleveland. This was all a charade, and he was going to go join LeBron for the the remake of the greatness of the team. Subtract Chris Bosh, add Kyrie Irving, because they couldn't afford having Kevin Love there. And I thought for a fact that Kevin Love was going to go to the Boston Celtics, unbeknownst to myself. But anywho, so he's there for a $47 million contract, 2 years. which is not too bad, which is probably going to be the end of his career. He is up there in age. But hey, why the hell not, right? So, but I don't even think this is even going to. I mean, it's going to make Chicago relevant, but I mean, I think it just makes Chicago as good as, well, basically Miami was last year, which in retrospect was about a second round team, if that. But what are you going to do? And this comes after the Tim Duncan possibly retiring, and of course, the disappointment in the Boston area with Mr. Kevin Durant going to the, I like to call them the Oakland Warriors or the San Francisco Warriors, or maybe even the Philadelphia Warriors if I really want to go old school. But the Golden State Warriors to form that alliance out there with Steph Curry. Steph Curry, never heard of her, as I like to say. It will be very interesting for the remainder of, or for the entire season of next year, because it's going to basically be Cleveland. It's going to be Cleveland at this point. I mean, unless something happens miraculously, Chicago gets an extra piece, Boston gets another piece to actually challenge Cleveland. They pretty much have this wrapped up for the 2016-2017 season, or at least for the East. As for the West, well, you take away the best player in Oklahoma, or one of the best players of the two, add him to a team that was already good in the finals, and you have Westbrook sitting there. Now, for me, Westbrook's going to free agency next year. And I think, personally, and many other people think as well, that Oklahoma City is going to keep him around. Why would you keep him around just to lose him and not get anything for it? And I think there's a lot of teams out there that may want to use him, even if he doesn't intend to sign with them for the next season. Be good for a run this season. And I happen to think the Celtics have a lot of pieces, and they could actually make a run for Russell Westbrook, at least for this season. Maybe convince the guy to stay up here in Boston. Who knows? But only time will tell. But I highly doubt he will be on the Oklahoma Thunder past Valentine's Day this year. My personal opinion. What else is on the news today? We also have the Red Sox pitching, which is I like to call a pile of crap. I was watching a documentary today called Fastball. You can get it on the Netflix, but don't the Netflix. As I like to call it, the labels, the Netflix. How about those Netflix? It's called Fastball, and it highlights basically the fastball and pitching, the history of the fastball, the history of the speed, the dynamics, pitches in the past, who have pitched the fastball and who are lights out, yada, yada, yada. Well, it just so happened that two of the pitches that were featured in this little flick was David Price and Craig Kimbrel, both guys who the Red Sox had acquired this year, spent large quantities of money on, and have been, how would you say, subpar at best. Not worth the money that they have been being paid. Kimbrel can only pitch in save situations. Put him on there with a 6-run lead, and he will let you go give up 7 runs because why not? That's the type of guy he is. I think it's a waste. I think that pitching is killing the Red Sox. Last night they scored. At one point last night it was 11-1. 11-1. And I understand the knuckleball gets a little sore. He lets up, I think he ended up letting up 6 runs total for the night. I mean, that game got way closer than it was supposed to be. I can't blame the bullpen. And Kimbrel actually was able to pitch with a save opportunity there. So I'll give that to him. But for the most part, I mean, I think those two players have been a waste. I think that there could have been, well, I guess there wasn't really anything else you could do this last off season for pitching, but basically I think the Red Sox are fucked. It's quite honest with you. Right in the butt. Because unless they get their pitching situation straight, you can hit home runs all day. You can score as many runs as you want. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's all about the defense and all about the pitching. And you need a little bit of both. And if you don't have it, then you're not going to get far. It's a proven case, Unless you plan on just beating up National League pitching in the World Series or even getting into the first round. But as of today, the Red Sox are still in the playoffs. They are the second wild card right now, and would play the one-game playoff if the playoffs started today. But they're a lot better than that. You have the best offense in baseball. You have 6 somewhat players who were elected to the All-Star game, and I think 7 if Dustin Pedroia gets voted in by the fans. I think he's number 7. So to me, it seems like you and you need to up it up a little bit here for the pitching. Who will they go for at the deadline? Well, the deadline's in a few weeks, and I'm not quite sure if there's anything really worth out there getting. We all know the Red Sox. There is no price too large. I mean, we are paying $30 million ish a year for a third baseman who played 6 weeks, and we're stuck with for another few years. So if that's any you know that's anything like you would know. Like you would know. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. So it's hard to believe I've been on the radio for 15 years. But that's in that. Also, for funny news today, it was raining last night up in the Rogers Center in Toronto. I don't know if you guys caught that. A freakish storm had rolled in the city of Toronto. And typically what happens is they look at the weather forecast, and if it's going to rain, they close the dome. Just because they don't want a rain delay in a dome. It's kind of embarrassing to have a rain delay in a dome. But apparently a storm swooped in real quick, and they didn't see it coming. And it started raining inside the dome before they can close it. Well, I guess they call them the trolls that control the roof up there. Very, very interesting. But that's the way it goes. They were able to close the roof, slight delay, and got the thing going. But people must have been freaking out up there. Like, what the hell's going on here? It's raining inside a dome? A dome? I was once in Milwaukee at a game up there, and what they do is they close the dome slowly throughout the game. So I think it was more of a strategy for shadows because it was an afternoon game. But there was a storm brewing, if you will. And when the storms are brewing, you don't go a ruin. Also, in serious news today, because we're the Packie, we talk about everything, but we want to talk about that shooting up in Minnesota, and how the aftermath was broadcast by the guy's girlfriend, live stream. Now, I'm all about people not dying or people getting shot, black or white, purple, doesn't really matter. I think it was a terrible, terrible thing. After looking into the story and realizing it's the second shooting of this type in 2 days, I think things are getting a little crazy. I know I'm all about law enforcement using their weapons to protect themselves from people who are doing bad things or have intent to do bad things to them. But in a nutshell, I think that also that they should be very, very careful with their gun, as any registered gun owner should be as well. And not being a police officer gives you the right to kind of put that, put that regard to a side. You still got to be cautious. You still got to make sure what you're doing. And in this situation case, the fella died that was shot, with the kid in the back seat, which is even worse. And he was just reaching for his wallet. That's all he was doing. I think that there should be another way around this. And I do agree with this protest that people are doing. I don't know if it was racially motivated. I know it was a white cop and a black fella got shot, but I mean, it could be the other way around as well too. And I would have felt the same exact way, all race aside. But I mean, that's just unfortunately the type of society we are living these days, and unfortunately, we have to deal with this stuff on a regular basis. And there should be something to stop. And I don't think it's a political thing one way or another. And whether the cop was motivated by race, why he, happened to have a itchy trigger, I don't know. But I do know that I think either way, black, white, white, black, blue, orange, it doesn't really matter. I just think that I believe in the Second Amendment, but I believe that people should be responsible with their right to have the Second Amendment. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And it's a sad story around the country the last couple of days. But hopefully we can figure this out and we don't make it a race issue. We make it a gun responsibility issue and a, something, stuff like that. It's a terrible thing. To conclude the show, as you know, to give everyone a recap, these shows are about 15 minutes long. They're quickies, stuff in the news today, sports and stuff like that, and they're meant for a quick listen. So um, these will be around 15 minutes long, semi-daily, as I said before. And I like to include these stories, a nice little Florida crime news. Now, if you know me from the Arty and Eric radio show, excuse me, I did a character called Dwayne Anderson. And Dwayne Anderson, the Florida crime news. And I will bring this to the Packie run today. And here's our first Florida crime news with Dwayne Anderson. If I can just bring this up right here. Here we go. This one's a funny one because they're all pretty hooty. This one's called Floridians Are in a Fierce Battle Over the Name of Lake Horny. That's right, there's a Lake Horny. A Florida man's desire to change the name of a nearby lake is arousing controversy. How arousing. So is the lake's name Lake Horny? Barry Zimmerman, of Lakeland, lives on the shores of Lake Horny, but is petitioned to have the name changed. It seems that Zimmerman is sick of sarcastic jokes that keep on popping up when people mention Lake Horny. All right. Zimmerman petitioned the U.S. Board of Geographic Names to change the lake, according to the Lakeland Ledger newspaper. Zimmerman told the board that he does not want to degenerate Mr. Horny's contributions to history of Lakeland, but wants the name changed because of the homonoric to a vulgar term, meaning conspicuously in. I can't even pronounce this. I have no idea how a Florida guy is. Basically, he's saying he doesn't want Horny to be on the name anymore. One man who used to live on Lake Horny admits that's getting embarrassed by the street name. She told ABC Action News she would tell people she lives on Lake Horny. Ooh. Looks like we're all a little horny about this section. The woman also said she changed the orientation of her house during remodel and so she didn't have to tell people she lived on Lake Horny Drive. The lake was not named after the slur for a sexual desire, but by honor of Julius Horny, who helped develop the Lakeland area in 1920s. Zimmerman wants to drop the Lake Horny and rename it in honor of Alfred Lodwick, an aviator pioneer who built a military training facility in Lakeland during World War II. The Geographic Board has asked Lakeland officials to weigh their options before making its final decision. City manager Tony Diago told Lakeland Ledger that the federal agency was going to say nothing. The city government is implementing of the agency and is aware of the change or the petition for change. God. All I have to say is, what's wrong with people in Florida? Lake Horny. Well, if you're ever in the Lakeland area and you want to stop by Lake Horny, feel free and get a little wild and piss off the people of the area by just telling people, hey, I'm going to Lake Horny and I'm going to have a good time. And there's nothing you can do about it. So there you go. Well, that concludes the Packie run here. I am Packie President, Arty84. You can check out any of these Packie videos on thepackie.com and at the Packie on Twitter. Of course, search Packie on Facebook. Just look for the little bottle symbol. This is thepackie.com, and that's how it is. We will be live, I believe, tomorrow. Time to be announced. So always just check the website for see what time we're going to do it. It's going to be up in the we're going to be actually in Buffalo, New York tomorrow. And we're taking in a Buffalo Bisons game versus the Lehigh Iron Pigs at 7 o'clock up there at Coca-Cola Field in Buffalo, New York. And we will be doing a post-game, probably a post-game Packie run from our hotel up there. If not, we get there before and we'll do a pregame. All depending on time. We're heading up to Buffalo. And then Sunday, we're taking Saturday off, and Sunday we'll be in Vermont, I believe, up in the Burlington area. We're going to go into a Lake Monsters game up there before or after going to Cooperstown for our yearly Packie visit to Cooperstown. So all this and more stay tuned to more episodes, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And remember, if you want to contribute anything, you want to send some Florida crime, you want to send some stories to us, we'd be more than happy to look at them and put them on the air. Just send them to thepackyusa@gmail.com. That's thepackyusa@gmail.com. And that's it we have for you today. I am Packie President Arty84, and we'll see you guys probably tomorrow night. So stick around and have a good day. See you later.